Hey guys, it's Julie. We're going to do a video about gels or mucilage that are found in plants. It was a lady who sent me, a very strange inbox message about, she thought it was kind of stupid that people would put okra gel on their hair, and that just didn't make any sense to her. So I thought, well, to each his own. Myself, because black women in particular, or ethnic women, have a higher incidence of breast cancer, I'm going to try to use more plant-based or herb or spice-based things if I can, especially since the skin is the largest organ and you're absorbing so many things into your circulatory system that way. But enough of that. The first portion, I'm going to show you the plants or the herbs or spices or whatever you want to call it, and the amount of mucilage that you can get out of them. Real good slip to the hair. Even if you don't use gels, you can use these things to put in your conditioner, put in your shampoo, and get that vitamin not only down into the scalp, but some of it absorbs into the hair shaft. I'm not going to go over every herb as to this, but just kind of show you plant-based versions, or alternatives I should say, that you can use that work really well for your hair. I did about 4 days ago an okra twist out. It's getting kind of puffy now. I've been out in the rain, but still, for me, the okra is one of my favorites right now because it adds the most sparkle and shine. So we're going to get started. Come on, cameraman. This is the ingredients for the hibiscus gel. I spoke about that a little bit in the coconut hibiscus custard videos. Marshmallow root. I just poured a little bit of boiling water in each one of these and let it sit a bit. With the marshmallow root, as you can see, you have to boil that a bit to get it a little bit thicker. But let's see here. I think I have a spoon for each one of them. That way we don't cross-contaminate. Let's put a little bit on my plate. See, that's kind of liquidy, but still it's got the nice slip to it when you run your fingers through it. The hibiscus is the one that I use the most, and the okra, I would have to say. Right now, it's not thickened up, but like if you've ever done homemade cranberry sauce, as this thickens up, it's going to get thick like a jelly, actually. Still has that beautiful cranberry color. Oh, and let me do this before I forget. One of the ladies asked me to actually show the dry spice. There's the dry hibiscus. And I put a tablespoon in each little bowl to kind of show you what it looks like wet. And this is the marshmallow root. I still haven't received my marshmallow root yet. I ordered the root instead of the powder. I thought it would be easier. And this is the Irish moss. One thing I will say about the Irish moss, it has one of the highest mucilage count of any of the things that I have on the table. Kind of smells like the sea a little bit. But we're going to get started on this. Alrighty, we have our marshmallow root. And that hadn't thickened up a bit because you'll have to boil this one. And I also boiled the hibiscus, and it hadn't thickened up yet. And the Irish moss. I want to show you that. I'm going to put a little bit on the plate here. See the Irish moss? I put a tablespoon of that, but this really absorbs the water. Let me get the strainer here. See, it's almost a jelly on its own. I should have got it out while it was pretty much hot, because it's hard to get out once it cools out. But see that? See how much gel that is? That's pretty neat. But Irish moss has the highest mucilage count of any of them. I'm going to move this over a little bit. And we're going to go down the line. I'll have to reheat that Irish moss too, and put a little bit more water to get it out of the strainer. We also have comfrey root. I don't know if you can see. Let me show you the comfrey. I should have loosened the jars prior, but I get lost in the moment, I guess. This is the dry comfrey root. Kind of looks like little hard pebbles. And after putting a tablespoon of it in the bowl and a little bit of boiling water, you can see that it's kind of thickened up a bit because it doesn't run like the water does. We also have Coltsfoot. This is actually good for respiratory issues. You can look most of these things up online. It does not have a lot of mucilage in it, but it still adds slip. These are a lot of things that I add to my conditioners and my mud washes and things like that. This one has a little bit of slip, not much, but it doesn't thicken up as much as you would think. The fenugreek, I always say fenugreek, and they always get on to me about that. As far as the seeds, this has been used for millennium in India and Eastern countries, not only for food, but lactating women, but for the hair and skin also. But what I did yesterday, because I had to make this a day in advance, was I kind of cracked the seeds a bit in my spice grinder, poured boiling water over it, and once it had cooled a little bit, put it in the refrigerator. And as you can see, you get kind of a nice thick gel from it. That way, some people say that they use the powder. For me, that would not work, because once you get that powder in your hair, it is almost impossible to get it out, I thought. And that is the fenugreek. We also have the kelp, which smells kind of, not like fish, but kind of the sea. You know how seawater smells like the sea, kind of little green granulars, because kelp is a sea vegetable. Real good for your skin too, not only just putting it on your hair, but your skin and drinking it. And just like the Irish moss, it's not as thick, but 1 tablespoon swelled quite a bit, and you can see where it's kind of thickened up too. Here, let me get a spoon and show you. See how that's kind of almost like a porridge, and once you drain it, you can see that it has a little bit of viscosity to it. And the Iceland moss, I think this is in Aveda products. It's a list of things I could list for the Iceland moss. The moss so much doesn't have a lot of mucilage, but the vitamins that are in it and the ability to hold on to moisture, this is an excellent one to add to your gels and also to add to your shampoos and conditioners. See, it's kind of on the thin side. Some of these things, if you boil them down, they will thicken up, but because of the time constraints, I could not do that today. Plus, it's just too much. It's too much. Everybody knows flax seeds. I got jars and jars of the flax seeds. You can get those at most grocery stores. Now, this one did have to be boiled. I boiled it for about maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And as you know with flax seeds, if you don't get it out of the pot or pan or whatever when it's hot, it gets really jelly and it's hard to drain. Now, let's see here. It'll eventually drain through, but we're not going to worry about that. I think most people have seen a video or two on the flax seed. Get it while it's hot, or else it's really hard to drain. And you can kind of see the kind of sliminess of it, but this stuff is excellent for the hair. But the one I would have to say that has been my favorite thus far has been the okra gel. Let me get this off the counter. I have a mess on the counter, ladies. You'll have to just bear with me because I have so much stuff. The okra was one that kind of caused the controversy for me. Yes, okra is a vegetable. Some people use this, especially in African countries they did. They say it helps to kind of smother lice and things like that on the hair. I don't know about that. But I think it makes a wonderful gel. And when I have boiled the different things that I want to combine and make a gel, okra is usually one of the things that I put in there. Boil the okra for about 5 minutes. Of course, you can see that's the okra. You have to kind of drain that when it's hot too. I did not put it through a fine sieve this time, but as you can see, it has its mucilage. It's nice and thick. This lady said she thought it was stupid, but I'll tell you this. This is okra and water. Not that slimy, not that much different from the fenugreek, not that much different from the flaxseed. And most people have been on the flaxseed wagon for a while. So think about some of the different ways you're going to use your products, some of the different things you're going to do for the hair, some of the different things you're going to use for the skin. Because I buy herbs in mine not only just for the hair. Like I said, the kelp and the hibiscus and the marshmallow and things like that make a really good facial. When you're taking a bath, you can kind of slather it on your head and your skin and soak and get up and rinse it all, and there you go. But just showing some of the plant-based alternatives to the plastic-based alternatives that you can buy at the store. But for a quick recap, marshmallow, hibiscus, Irish moss, which has the thickest that I think I've ever seen, Coltsfoot, fenugreek, well, this is the okra one, let me not lie, the fenugreek, which is still very thick on its own, This one is a very, very, very good gel also, I think. What I'm going to end up doing with most of them after I strain them out, I'm going to mix them together. Yes, I'm going to mix every last one of them together and put them in my different little ice trays. And there you go. I got a amalgamation of stuff. We also have our kelp. A lot of countries and a lot of people eat this. They put it in their nice green shakes and such. Our Iceland moss, our flaxseed. So a little bit of something different for everybody, different health concerns, different ideas. If you ladies have any different ways that you use your plants or different ideas, send me some thoughts and feelings on this, because I don't want people to, I don't really mind if you send me a provocative message, I should say, but I don't really want people to send me messages that say, I think that's kind of stupid. I think we need to stop and think sometimes what we're saying and also what we're putting in our bodies, because all this is plant-based, all this is from God, whether you believe in God or not, I do. Oh, but anyway, thanks guys, I'll see you later.